my name is Austin. Welcome to Vehicle Talk. Hit that big red subscribe button, pretty please, and turn on notifications. And leave a big thumbs up. And please leave a comment. I will reply to most of your comments, or even all. So please leave a comment and subscribe mostly. And like it. So, now the video's getting started. The first car I'm going to be talking about is Toyota Corolla IM. Toyota Corolla has a naturally aspirated engine, 138 horsepower, and 26 pound-feet of torque. Comes with a 6-speed manual and a CT manual. And a CT. And the fuel economy gets a good 7.9 and 588 liters of space. And the price is $22,540 to $23,375. So far, what I think about this car is it has that edgy design and everything else, and it has one thing that I recognize. Oh, that kind of looks like a Scion. Oh, it is a Scion, basically. Scion got discontinued in 2017, so Toyota transferred about half the cars onto their lineup, and this is one of them. You might recognize this car as the Scion IM, but it's now known as the Toyota Corolla IM. But when Scion came out with this car, it still really did look like a Toyota Corolla. You can tell this company was owned by Toyota Corolla. That's one thing that I liked, and it put a sporty twist on a boring Toyota Corolla. And the back hatch is a beautiful car in the back too. So it also gives you lots of space. Lots of space, trust me, lots of space. The Toyota Corolla sedan probably doesn't even has nearly as much space as this car. And that's one thing I love about this Toyota Corolla IM. And by the way, the drivetrain is front-wheel drive. But it's one problem that I have about this car. When I'm looking for a compact hatchback car, I want it to be sporty, fast, and going around corners like anything else. But this is one car you have to remember it's related to the Toyota Corolla. It's probably not going to give you all that, but it still tries to do its best to do that. And it's one thing that I hate about this car is the transmission options. A 6-speed manual. When you're driving a little bit of a sluggish car in a manual, it sucks. And a CT, that is so much leg off the line, no thank you. And I doubt most of you will be using this as your highway car. If you're going to use a highway car, you will just buy the sedan. The sedan has very similar stats to the Toyota Corolla IM, the regular one. And let's just say this one gets more fuel economy, around the same pound-feet of torque, and the same naturally aspirated, and the same transmission options. It's one thing that I would like to see from this Toyota Corolla IM. Maybe a redesign, or just more transmission options. I do not want a CT in a hatchback car. I want it to be sporty, fast, and with a lot of cargo space, pretty much. If I'm going to go get a sedan that's fuel efficient and can go on the highway, I'm going to go with that Toyota Corolla, not a Toyota Corolla IM. I want that car to go around corners like a beauty and go so fast. Now we are going to talk about the Toyota Corolla IM competition, where I think it lags in this because lots of them have a little bit more horsepower and a better transmission. I'm going to show you one of them. Second car that I'm going to show you, the Honda Civic hatch. The Honda Civic hatch has a front-wheel drivetrain, and the engine is a 20-liter, 15-liter, 14. Sorry, I butchered that. But it has a naturally aspirated engine with to 158 horsepower to 174, and has 138 pounds-feet torque to 162, and comes in the same 6-speed CT manual. I am absolutely devastated by how most of these hatchback cars all have CTs. I know it's the compact thing, but for a car to have an automatic transmission, not a CT, in a hatchback is so much better. But I'll give Honda one thing. This car is a lot more faster than the IM. Probably around the same second to 60 range, but I'm not quite sure on that. But I think this might be a little bit more faster. Come on, it's a Toyota. And it's one thing, this car will probably go faster around corners and everything else that the Toyota IM does not accomplish. And for driving, I don't think this car will be a lot more better than IM. And the fuel economy is 6.9, so you'll be getting less fuel economy, but you're also getting more horsepower. So, and it's one thing that I absolutely hate about the Honda Civic hatch is it's so huge. It's supposed to be a small hatchback. It's huge. The front end's too huge, and it still looks like the sedan pretty much. It's just a little bit more closed in. And I feel like they butchered on the design and everything else. I kind of like the older Honda Civics, to be honest. They're a lot more lighter and they're smaller. I'll give the Toyota IM, it's still stuck to the hatchback roots. This looks like a coupe hatchback sedan mix. And the design is very butchered. So I would most likely not buy this car just because of the design. But you get a lot more cheaper, but also a lot more expensive. You're probably saying, how does that work? Because it starts at $15,990 to $29,390. So you're getting cheaper, but also more expensive options, and it has a lot more bigger price range. I will give Toyota this. You literally just threw it into your lineup because Sign just got discontinued, but something that I would like to see next year is more models and more better pricing. So, does this car beat the Toyota IM? I'm gonna say most likely. But you also have to remember, this is also on your personal reference. And it's other thing that I hate about this car. It has a 6-speed manual and a CT. I already mentioned this, but I cannot stop mentioning because how crucial it is to me about a hatchback car. I want this car to be lighter and faster. But I don't think Honda Civic quite gets this. The car is supposed to be smaller, not pretty much the same size or bigger. So, yeah. I remember the older Honda Civic hatchbacks, they used to be like the pros of cars. They were like the best. And what did you do, Honda Civic? What did you decide to do? You decided to just make the back end shorter. That's all you did. This is so lazy, I swear. It's probably so sloppy workmanship at times. The sedan, on the other hand, is a beauty of a car, and I absolutely love that car. especially the sedan sporty Honda Civic. Those are cool. But for my liking, it's a little bit too wide, but the sedans are perfect. But one thing that I would keep note on is probably fix up your hatchback a little bit. It looks you didn't put a lot of time in the hatchback, but you put so much time in the sedan and coupe. That's one thing that I would recommend to them next time to do that. But rather than that, this car is pretty good. At least this car's faster, so you don't feel so weird driving with stick. And most people that are watching this probably don't know how to drive stick. Going on to the final and last car, which is probably my favorite out of it, is the Mazda 3 Sport. Or just the Mazda 3, because that's just the option. Well, this car is naturally aspirated to 150 horsepower to 184 and 150 pound-feet torque to 185. 6-speed automatic. I'm so happy. And a 6-speed manual. This car is a mix of the Toyota IM and the Honda Civic to me. It's probably the most perfect balance for me. It has the automatic, which I like, but also has, I think, it's tied in fuel economy with the Honda Civic. And the pricing is $15,900 to $25,000. It's cheaper. It's actually more expensive starting on the Honda side. And it's more expensive on the top end side for Toyota IM. But it's the perfect price. It's not over like on the Honda Civic. I would not pay top dollar on the Honda Civic for $29,000 and $390. No thank you. I'd rather pay that 25,000 grand that this ends with. This car does come in a sedan. Which one would I get, the hatch or the sedan? Usually I don't say this about the cars, but I would actually get the hatch for the Mazda. The Mazda has an automatic, I like it. Or the stick. And it has enough horsepower and it's small enough to the point where you're going around those turns really quick and everything else. That's when I would use that stick. But why would Toyota IM even offer that as a transmission option? Like, what's wrong with them? You only have 138 horsepower, but you're also lighter, but you're not that much lighter than the Mazda 3. Maybe a lot more lighter than the Honda Civic, because obviously they forgot all their designing skills for hatchbacks when they were last making them. But I don't know what happened to Honda Civic, why they got rid of the older version back then to the hatchback. But all the other cars are perfect on Honda. But the one hatch option on the Civic is not really perfected really good. I'll give them all the good designing skills on all their other Hondas, but on the hatch, no thank you. Well, I'll give Mazda this, but it's kind of the opposite for Mazda in this case of the Honda Civic. This is probably one of their really good cars, but the design features on every single car that they have, SUVs, sedans, all look the same, the front end, the back. Just like smaller versions. Well, some people say, well, that's fine. Some people some car critics might fall for this. Oh yeah, the car looks very sporty and everything, but every other car in their lineup looks the exact same. This video is coming to an end, but not quite yet. So, what car do I think is the best? I think in this segment is the Mazda 3. Takes the cake for me, has the automatic, and comes with a stick. And that's just my opinion. I think it's probably one of the best. So, All the cars' websites will be in the annotation. Bye. Click that red subscribe button.